The 6-part drama will air on BBC One later this year and is already being tipped to mirror the success of his much-loved creation Line of Duty, which will be filming its 5th series next month. The 52-year-old showrunner is known for repeatedly working with a close-knit group of British actors. The Durrell's star Hawes was a prominent character in the 2nd series of Line of Duty, which is filmed in Belfast, as Detective Inspector Lindsay Denton. Meanwhile, Game of Thrones star Madden previously worked with Mercurio on a BBC adaptation of D.H. Lawrence's novel Lady Chatterley's Lover 3 years ago, portraying brooding gamekeeper Oliver Mellors to Holiday Growlinger's Lady Chatterley. Asked if he had written the 2 leads in Bodyguard with the 2 stars in mind, Mercurio says, "I certainly wanted to work with Keeley Hawes again, but you can't really write with someone in mind because when the time comes they might be busy on another project. They might not be interested. It was great that Keeley was interested and that she wanted to do it. I often write something and end up working with someone I have worked with before, but it is not planned that way and was available. It is just a happy circumstance when it happens. I certainly wanted to work with Keeley Hawes again, but you can't really write with someone in mind because when the time comes they might be busy on another project. They might not be interested." Jed Mercurio adds, "I enjoyed working with Richard previously, as well, and he was someone we were thinking of for the role. It was great that he was available and wanted to do it." Bodyguard is set in London with Hawes portraying Home Secretary Julia Montagu and Madden as David Budd, an Afghanistan war veteran assigned as her bodyguard in his new role as a Specialist Protection Officer for the Metropolitan Police. It was previewed at the BFI in London last Monday and audiences were left gasping after the screening of the tense and gripping first episode. In having to protect the politician who sent him to war, the drama explores Bud's inner conflict in trying to carry out his duties despite struggling with the horrors he saw in Afghanistan. The series started filming on the streets of the capital at the end of last year and finished in February this year. A broadcast date is yet to be finalized, but the BBC promises it will be on our screens soon. In a promotional trailer clip released last week, Hawes's character is shown telling Bud, "I don't need you to vote for me, only to protect me." On Bodyguard, Madden says, "I'm very excited to be working with Jed Mercurio again and thrilled to be working with Keeley Hawes for the first time." Jed has created a remarkable story that resonates with the very heart of modern-day London and real characters trying to survive in this world. The drama was made by World Productions, also the makers of police corruption thriller Line of Duty that Mercurio confirmed last week is edging closer to returning to our screens. The writer posted a photo on Twitter of the show's 3 leads, Martin Compston, Vicky McClure and Adrian Dunbar, on set with a caption reading, "1 month to go till we start shooting Line of Duty Series 5. In response, Compston, who plays Detective Sergeant Steve Arnott, teased that the script for the new series is immense. Counting down till the gang gets back together. The drama, dubbed the best thing on television by its millions of fans, is expected to air early next year after a near 2-year hiatus caused by Mercurio focusing on Bodyguard. He says, "The delay in Line of Duty was purely because of Bodyguard." Bodyguard was commissioned before the 4th season of Line of Duty went out, so part of that commission was that it would be shot and delivered in the time frame we are now in, so that inevitably delayed Season 5. With all of these factors considered, the delivery of Season 5 will be early 2019. There have been long gaps between previous series while we have been waiting to be recommissioned, and also delays in mounting the production and finding the right time for the availability of the people, so it is the longest gap we have had, but we have had gaps of 18 months before. The only time we turned it around in a year was between Season 3 and Season 4, because they were commissioned together, but while we were waiting for 5 and 6 to be commissioned, Bodyguard has slotted into the gap, he says. Mercurio, who is a special guest at No Ireland Crime Fiction Festival in Belfast with Line of Duty star Dunbar, adds, "Having a big break before Season 5 may increase anticipation and make it a real event, but for me it gives me time to think about what we should be doing next as we have Season 5 and 6 to maybe do some planning." Having that bit of distance does help. "It was just a bit unusual with Season 3 being on the air while I was writing Season 4, and that ends up being a bit of a distraction. I normally write a script 9 or 10 months before we shoot, and because we do it in 2 halves, the first 3 episodes is a block of filming and then the second 3 episodes is a block of filming. which means I have time to get the first 3 episodes in good shape, and then the second 3 don't need to be absolutely finalized shooting scripts until a couple of months later, so that just gives us a bit of wiggle room. Mercurio has not released any plot details for the 5th series, but he has revealed McClure, DS Kate Fleming, will no longer go undercover in the investigations carried out by fictional police anti-corruption unit AC-12. With Vicky not going undercover anymore, it just means the story construction will be different, he explains. Which is a major change in the show's dynamic. We will have to find another way of creating the antagonism between AC-12 and the officer under investigation. Despite having an idea for how to end Line of Duty, trained Dr. Mercurio, who started his illustrious writing career with medical dramas Cardiac Arrest and Boss, is hopeful it will be commissioned for a 7th series. They are there, I am aware of them. I am familiar with them, but in terms of our next challenge, it is doing Season 5. There are possibilities of how it would end. He says, I don't think about it ending. If this does very well and the BBC continues to back the series, then there will be a discussion about whether we go beyond Season 6. If the BBC does not give us the commission for Season 7, then Season 6 will have to be the last.